Hey guys, what's up? Just here because I wanted to talk to you about one of the new lures that's just come out from Chasebaits. Something that I'm very excited about that I've been using for the last few months now. And that is the brand new Armour Prawns from Chasebaits. Comes in two sizes. So we've got the 110mm here and then we've got the smaller 85mm one there. So awesome little lures. Probably the most unique out of the range that's been brought out. As you see here, super realistic kind of profile. It's belly weighted, so what it does with that is that it's going to sink flat for you, which is like the natural kind of, shrimp don't, they're not doing nose dives. If they're hopping up and down or skipping along, they're super stable and they just cruise along. So that's a really good thing to have. You want something belly weighted. It's just the most realistic kind of presentation that you're going to get with a prawn or shrimp profile lure. And then another great thing about it, so they've got a little segmented tail here. So when your lure is hopping up, it's down, and on the sink down, that'll flick up. So when you're doing your hops, it's flicking up and down. Also, one of the great things about this, so it is a vibe, but you can also, it has a front toe point as well that you can use as a little stick bait, glide bait kind of deal where you can twitch it across shallow water and that kind of thing. But I really like to use it as a vibe, which you tie onto the middle toe point here, doing long lifts to short hops with the rod. Just get that lure darting. What it's going to do is shimmy and vibrate and then sink down naturally with that belly weight and the segmented tail, giving it a really realistic kind of action. Also, one of the great things about this, and if you use vibes a lot, you'll understand this little thing on the back here, this hook keeper. So what that does two things really for you. So the main thing is you're going to avoid any tangles. So there's nothing worse, especially when you're fishing deeper water, sinking your vibe down, waiting for it to get down, doing the first hop or the first lift, and your trebles are snagged up and your lure's not working and you have to wind it all the way back up. It can mean you're missing out on fish. When you're trying to get the job done, you want the most time with your lure in the water, in the zone. So you don't want to be mucking around with hooks being tangled up all the time, that kind of thing. So this pretty much straight eliminates that. And also the other good thing it does is when you're getting short strikes, so say the fish doesn't eat the whole thing, it's only grabbing onto the back half, because those trebles are pointed back there, if they grab onto that back half, they're getting stung by that back treble and they can't avoid it. I mean, it's a hard lure to fault. It's very hard. It's not a soft thing. It's not going to tear. It's going to last many fish. You can't go too wrong. Now in terms of where you'd use it, I mean you could use it in a lot of different applications, but traditionally when you're fishing vibes, you could be fishing anywhere from 1 meter to 50 plus meters depending on where you are. These work great. Like I've been using them for barramundi, finger mark, coral trout, that kind of thing. They work great over a couple meters of water plus. I mean I've used them in a meter, but ideally I think anywhere from that to 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 20 meters is probably the ideal depth you want to be fishing in. Any of those fish that are kind of sitting on the bottom, just jigging them in their face, sending off those vibrations can trigger a bite or it can trigger a reaction strike. It just works. It just bloody works. But yeah, if you're looking for something you can use them on, first thing you're looking at barramundi, mangrove jacks, finger mark, coral trout, and even down south, your snapper, your dewies, also threadfin up and down the coast. Great lure on flathead as well. If you've done a little bit of deeper water flathead fishing and stuff like that, you know how well vibes work. This is just the next step. Yeah, so those kind of species is what I'd be looking at for the most part. And the kind of scenarios I'd be looking at to use them in, for me, it'd be fishing for schooled fish, like school barra, whether they be sitting on mud or rocks or lay down or creek mouths, whatever. All those kind of scenarios you're going to be able to fish this on, but also for a range of other species, fishing along the top of rock bars, on sand edges, mud banks, all that kind of stuff in your deeper water around structure and even your reefs and stuff like that. You can apply it to any one of those scenarios and it's still going to work and it's still going to catch your fish. So there's not too many scenarios you can't fish these in. And like I said, you can catch just about anything on them. So, you know, in terms of sizes, you can pretty much just, if you know there's prawns in your area, I'd kind of be just trying to match the sizing to those. So like I said earlier, the 110mm, pretty versatile kind of size, 25 grams, but it doesn't sink super fast. So it still sinks with that belly weight, it still sinks fairly natural and doesn't rocket down to the bottom or anything like that. And then the 85mm can catch just about anything on a small little prawn. So, and they're 13 grams, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, between those, you could honestly, up and down the East Coast, catch just about anything you wanted to catch on those. Awesome little lure, definitely one of my favorites that's come out this year and even the last couple of years. So there's a fair few colors to choose from, 2 sizes. They're available in stores now. So if you haven't tried them, go give them a go. Either at your local tackle store at chasebaits.com.au. Thanks.